When does a human being stop sinning? That's a question, and it's a valid question. When does a human being stop sinning? Only on one condition: when they're dead. That's the only time we stop sinning. When we die, I can't sin anymore, because the eyes that used to see can't see anymore. The feet that used to walk can't walk anymore. The hands that stretched out and stole and punched and kicked can't do that anymore. When I'm dead, I can't sin anymore. Baptism is death, burial, and resurrection with Christ, by Christ. Baptism is death, burial, and resurrection in Christ. This is why Jesus Christ died once, was buried once, rose once. He can't bury him again. He can't kill him again. You see, Moses made this grave mistake when the Israelite nation came to him the first time and they said, "We are thirsty in this wilderness. There is no water." Moses went to God and said, your people are thirsty. What do I do? He said, "You see that rock over there?" He said, "Yes, Lord." He said, "You see the staff in your hand?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Go and strike the staff on the rock. Rivers of waters will flow from that rock. Let them drink." He went and did it, and rivers of waters came flowing from that rock, and the entire Israelite nation drank, and their thirst was quenched. The second time they came back, they said, "We are thirsty." Moses said, "I'm not going to bother God again. But every time they come and say, 'I'm thirsty,' I go to God and say, 'What shall I do?' God showed me the way. I don't need to ask him again." So he went to strike the rock without God's permission. God came angry at Moses, and he said, "For striking this rock, you will not enter. Joshua, son of Nun, will enter on your behalf the promised land." Because he said, "Moses, since you don't know, you need to ask. Don't assume." One of the biggest mistakes of humanity, we assume things and we believe in our own assumptions. Dangerous. He said, "Don't ever build your belief on assumption." He said, "You didn't realize, Moses, the staff in your hand is the very spear of the Roman centurion. And the rock I guided you to, the rock is my son, Jesus Christ. He is the rock. I said, go and strike the rock. My son will be pierced on Calvary. My son will be pierced on Calvary on the cross by the very staff you're holding, which is symbolic for the spear of the Roman centurion. And when my son's side will be pierced, blood and water will gush out. Blood for the Holy Eucharist and water for the Holy Baptism. The first two sacraments were given to the church from the cross. Water for baptism and blood for the Holy Eucharist. This is the only commandment the Lord gave us to fulfill. And I have the right to the tree of life. As a person who holds the priesthood rank, someone like me, do I have the right to the tree of life? Yes. Will Christ stop me? No. You know why? Because He gave me this authority to have access to the tree of life. What is access to the tree of life? I can celebrate the Holy Mass anytime I choose. I don't need the Lord's permission. I don't need to say, Lord, can I do the Holy Mass service tomorrow? No, because I have the permission already. I can celebrate it tomorrow. I can celebrate it in a week's time. I can choose anything. I have the authority. He gave me the authority. Since He gave me the authority, I can have access to the tree of life anytime I wish to choose. This is the only commandment with aim. And through this commandment, while offering the body and the blood, those who come with faith that they are receiving the true body and the true blood, their sins are forgiven, and they are receiving the incorruptible body for the inheritance of the kingdom of God. In other words, every time we receive the body and the blood of Christ, we are entering so we don't need for God's kingdom to come. So we can the body and the blood in faith, not in any other way. To honor what you receive, to respect what you receive, to bow with reverence and trembling. This is giving you eternal life. Blessed are those who do His commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life, and may enter through the gates into the city. What are the gates that bring you into the city? The gates are the sacraments of the church, priesthood, baptism, body and blood, forgiveness of sin, and the lamps. The sacraments of the church are the gates which through them you are able to enter the city which is the heaven of Jerusalem, God's kingdom. Look at this. Verse 15. But outside, you see when we read in verse 12, behold, I'm coming quickly, and my reward is with me to give to everyone according to his work. The Lord is ready to give everyone according to his work. Those who love Him, those who follow Him will be rewarded accordingly, but those who reject Him and go against Him will be paid also accordingly. But look.